I'm Jane.
And I'm Jen.
And we're SpielMill.
And we did a little bit of a different challenge for April, didn't we?
We sure did. We played a lot of games. We played 30 games. Well, we set out to play 30 new games twice each.
Yeah.
And we sort of did that. We played 30 new games. We played them twice each on average.
Right.
We played some as many as 5 times, some as many as 3 times, some only once.
Yeah. Yeah.
It balanced out because some games, well, there was at least one game that was only like a single play.
Right.
Like it was only like, I think it was, we'll talk about it, but one of those mystery games that you solve, and once it's solved, it's solved. But other games we just didn't like that much, or didn't have the time to replay them, or whatever. And other games that were just either easy to replay, or, you know, we wanted to replay more, so we did.
Yeah. And so the idea is that we have been unable to play a lot of our games for the last couple of years. So we really wanted to kind of start digging into our shelf of opportunity and play some of the games we're really excited about.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We have a big shelf of opportunity because I've been very sick for years and I couldn't play games for a while. And so our shelf kind of built up during that time. And so we're also just trying to press that down.
Yeah. So shall we start talking about the games?
Still sick, but not as sick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the first one up is the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, which is just, it's a very small card game. It can fit in your pocket. And it's basically about diving in a submarine and bringing up animals.
Yeah, a little push your luck, very fast playing. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. It was a fine, quick filler card game.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't spectacular, but it was good. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd play it again. It's a good travel game for sure.
It is, yeah.
So
the second game on our list we're going to talk about, are we going across or down?
Go across. The Oregon Trail.
Yes, Oregon Trail card game, which I picked up at Target on an absolute whim. It was probably like $5, I think, on Black Friday. And it just, the nostalgia of the old Oregon Trail computer game is what kind of appealed to me.
And it's really low rated on BGG, but we actually kind of liked it.
Yeah, we kind of did. It was fun.
I mean, I think it might be low rated because it's really, really hard.
Yeah.
And that might be why it's a cooperative game. You're trying to survive the Oregon Trail and not get dysentery and, you know, survive.
Yeah, but I mean, I would play this again. I'd pull this out once or twice a year just to play it. So
it's fun. It's got a nostalgia factor too, which is nice. And it's not great. It's, you know, but it's not bad.
No,
it's not bad actually. At least we only played it a couple times, so maybe how hard it is weighs on you after more plays. Hard to tell.
Yeah. All right. So the next game on our list is Planet Unknown, which is Kickstarter we backed. A lot of game channels have been talking about this and are absolutely crazy about it. So we went into this with really high expectations.
Yeah. Which I think I heard it.
Yeah.
We liked it.
Yeah.
But I didn't love it.
Yeah, same.
I liked it.
I liked it too. It was fine.
The Lazy Susan's awesome. It's a Lazy Susan in the center with tiles in it. Polyomino tiles. And you're placing on your board. I thought the gameplay itself was pretty simple. And simple can be fine, but it strategically wasn't much depth to it.
Yeah, and I think like you said, the expectations hurt it. People talked about how much they love this. This was like the game of the year for them. And so we went into it super excited, and it was a fun game, but it didn't blow our socks off. And so
I expected more.
Yeah.
So, oh well. I mean, it was good. I mean, don't get us wrong. It was good.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I would not recommend it.
Again, even the way we're talking about it is set off against the expectations.
Yeah. And I mean, who doesn't love polyominoes, like fitting them together? It's fun.
It's fun.
It's a satisfying, enjoyable
And
game.
it's got the tracks that you move up, and that's always fun. So, did enjoy it. It's definitely a good game. So, next game up is Ark Nova. This is a big one. This one's really good.
This one.
She liked it even more than I did, but it was really good.
I loved this game. I really love the action selection mechanism. I thought that was so
clever. That is
clever.
very clever, yeah.
Yeah, and of course building out your zoo and the focus on conservation, and there's just so much happening to a big chunky game.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game. It's not a beautiful game, which was a little bit of a detractor for me because I like it a beautiful game. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then like I don't know. I felt like I wanted the zoo board to be a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Because you don't really, the animals, you don't put your animals on your board. You just
Right.
keep the cards. Like, you're filling in the board, but it's very abstract, and that could be...
And the tiles are very bland and abstract. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just...
But
it's like, it's so close. This is a game I really hope in a year or two they kickstart something, a super deluxe version. And we even discussed like not buying any more content for it and just waiting for a super deluxe version.
Sorry.
I think it would really benefit from a blitzed out version.
Yeah, because we did not back this on Kickstarter. We bought it after the fact because people raved about it, and it just really more.
But I think the production in general just wasn't high quality. On it, it's just, but it's a good game. It's got like she said, a great action selection system, which is worth the game in and of itself. So
yeah,
very good.
Yep. The next game on our list, also really good, Canopy.
Canopy, yeah. I think this was one of my favorites. It was really fun. It's got a simple but creative card drafting system for 2 players. Card drafting for 2 players doesn't always work. I mean, it works. We have games like Boomerang where it works quite well, or Bunny Kingdom. And but it works. They came with this clever little system where you have 3 piles, and if you don't choose the first pile, you add a card to it, so it gets better. So every time you're always choosing, like, do I take these cards, which are actually not bad, or do I make it better by putting another card on it when then she gets to take it? And
you get to look at each pile before you take it. They're face down, but you get to look and decide whether or not you want to take it.
But once you pass on it, you can't go back.
Right, unless you have a special power.
Yep. So it's really fun. It's a very pretty game, and the theme is fantastic. It's about forests. And it's beautiful.
You're growing your canopies. You're growing your trees. This was really a highlight of the month, I think, one of them.
All right, the next game on our list, another nature game, Wild Serengeti.
I loved this.
This is really good.
I loved this. I did not expect to love this as much as I did. When we went into it, we read the rules. I thought, I don't know. This sounds kind of simple, but
it is simple, but it's good.
We played it 3 times. I would have played it again. This is one I would just play over and over again.
It's got rich theme, but a bit of an abstract playing mechanism where you're kind of pieces on the board. You have to get different kinds of pieces at different places, but they're not abstract because they have to be very specific animals. And it's neat. It's about making a documentary of wildlife, and it's just it's got a great table presence.
Incredible table presence.
And I'd say this is one of the better ones of the month too.
This one knocked my socks off. I just absolutely loved it. I definitely think it was one of my top, probably 3 to 5 for the month. Yeah.
Good choice.
And it's got these little wooden animals that are just really pretty.
And one of ours was damaged, and they sent the replacement. No problem. No questions. No problems. I mean, they did ask questions. But so that was it.
Yeah. All right. So the next game on the list is also nature themed. We were on a roll. And that was Snapshot, Wildlife Photographer.
Yep.
And again, this is a little card game, but one of the reasons why I was so excited about this one is instead of the theme being hunting or fishing or blah, 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 you're taking pictures of animals, which is what we always pretend we're doing anyway. And I love that the whole game was about actually taking pictures of animals. And so this was fun. I liked this.
It was good. It was a little push your luck. It had, again, interesting choices. It had interesting choices where you can either add cards, which is pushing your luck because they could bust you, or not. Right. But there was sort of like a thing that also, if you busted, it wasn't a terrible thing necessarily. You could get a little bit of tokens that will help you. So it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
Not punishing.
No.
At all, which was kind of nice, and it was fun. It wasn't fantastic. I'd say it's a decent game.
Yeah, it might be a little long for what it was, if I
Maybe,
remember.
Yeah, I think it was a little long.
This is an early... Playing 30 new games in the month, I can barely remember the first couple, and that one was a pretty early contender. So, but I liked it, and I liked the theme.
So the next one is a game about ancient Rome, Ostia.
Yeah, I liked this one.
I liked it too.
It was quick though.
It was too quick.
Yeah.
And
we added around.
some people are obsessed with quick games, and I'm not. I want to enjoy the game. If I enjoy something, I want it to last longer. You know, like a good movie or something. But in this case, it was just too quick. It just felt like it was over, and I was just getting going.
Yeah. Is this one where we added it around? I feel like we might have added around.
I think we might have added around, but it's hard to add too much to it at the end because by that point you're really kind of exploding and all the things you can do, but it happens so fast.
Yeah.
That was the challenge.
Yeah, and I think that this type of game is probably really great for people who like a shorter game. A lot of game in a little bit of time. We like our games a little longer. And like you said, you can't make this one too much longer. It's really designed to be a quick, snappy game. So I liked it. We'll probably play it again. I don't know that we'll get rid of it, at least not right off the bat. But
no, I mean, I think it's probably a keeper, but I like the theme, a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, I liked it. I just wanted more from it.
And there are games that work in that amount of time, but this to me felt like that type of game where you're building this engine and you're building up your civilization or your harbor or whatever. Yeah. And then it's over. And that's not the type of game that I want to end that quickly.
Yeah. It just ended too quickly. Yeah. But it's a good game. Yeah. Ostia.
All right. Next was Oros.
I love this game.
Yeah, this was also really good.
So we have a couple games that involve tectonic movement, and this is by far the best of them.
God, it's so clever.
It's very clever. It's sort of abstract, but but it's also thematic in a way that works. Like, so it's kind of a weird abstract-y thematic.
You're like gods that are building up land masses, and so you're exploding volcanoes that make the lands bigger, and when 4 land masses crash into each other, you can put a temple on that to the gods or something like that. And that's kind of
like little Jenny over there working your science project on volcano. All right, new land. All right, here we go.
It was it's a little brain burning on how things moved because basically it's a globe.
Yeah,
but it's
it is
flat.
it takes adjusting.
Yeah.
And the player boards were double layered, but they were weirdly done, so they kind of warped on you. Yeah. And that was a little bit annoying. So it's nice that they were double layered, but annoying that they kind of warped a little bit. And so there's workarounds. We're going to glue them down or something.
Yeah.
But it's, I liked it a lot.
It was a winner.
Yeah.
One of the top rated ones.
So next up we have Dinosaur Exhibit. Dinosaur Exhibit's a little roll and write game. Basically for kids, didn't care for it so much.
Yeah.
Not much of a decision space.
No, not much of a decision space. We just liked the story. It was a woman designer who designed it for her kids. Homeschooler. And, but it if you've got kids,
it's probably fine. It's good. Fine. Yeah. It just didn't work as adults, and we're always in the market for roll rights, so it was kind of disappointing for us to have it not really work for us. Now we're a little bit, all of our friends or kids are a little bit older, so I don't even know what we do with it, donate to a library or something. Yeah. But anyway, Dinosaur Exhibit was
Yeah. Next is Oh My Goods, and oh my goodness, I can't believe that was this month. My God. Or last month.
We played so many games.
This game, have heard about it for years. It's a small box, but it is a lot of game with just those little bit of cards. The cards do like not just double, but I think triple duty in what they're used for. And you're building out your engine and trying to produce goods to produce more goods. This was really good. It was for the weight that it was and the time that it took, we'd probably just rather play a board game, like a big board game.
Yeah. But it's good. I mean, you could take this on the road.
Exactly.
I can't travel, but you could take this on the road. You would need a little table. You need table space. Yeah. For sure. It sort of expands a bit, but it's definitely a light game that you could take on the road and get a heavier game feel out of it.
Yep. Or if you don't have a lot of space in your apartment and you're trying to, sort of maximize, or you're doing the 1 shelf challenge, this would be perfect.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was, oh my goods.
The little 1 box challenge. All right, so the next game is Bear Stare Down. It has another name. They had
Beware
it.
of bears.
Beware of Bears. They had to change it because of a licensing issue, and so anyway, I didn't care for it, but for what it is, it's fine. It's just kind of a generic, little bit take that-y card game, light card game, and it's fine, but I didn't care for it.
No, not our speed, not our
Yeah.
style. Now, I think it would be good for kids or for a particular type of group that had some, that like sort of take that and silly fun.
A group of
lot
non-gamers
puns.
around a campfire.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, drinking, basically, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know about a campfire. Burn it!
Either kids or alcohol should probably be involved.
Yeah, one or the other, preferably not both.
Yes, exactly.
Next, so that was one game we played once, and that was one we played once. The next one up was one we played once, and that was Blank.
Yes.
And Blank was okay. Again, it was kind of a generic card game.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it'd be fun to group of non-gamers, I think, but I wasn't feeling it tremendously as a gamer.
Yeah. Might be fun as a party game, and we didn't really get into investigating how you use some of the blank cards. Like, I think you can customize it for yourself, which is why we were interested in it, because we thought some of our friends would really like that, and we didn't quite dig into understanding that that part of it. But by the time this was over, we were ready for it to be over.
One of the gimmicks of the game is that the rules change as you go, and they do, and that's fine, and it's okay.
Yeah.
So the next one up is actually a bit of anyway, it's Astro Knights.
I could talk about this for an hour.
Okay. What would you I know what I would say.
I'm probably gonna say the same thing you would say. I like so it's supposed to be the evolution of Aeon's End, where they streamlined some things from Aeon's End that some people didn't like. But I liked those things. I want those things back.
The only things that I liked about this better than Aeon's End was the setup was quicker.
Yeah.
But the gameplay wasn't better. The layout of the stuff on the table wasn't better. The system, but I don't know, the game mechanics weren't better. It was just, and it was too quick.
Yeah.
As a game, it was, this is the thing, like, I think there's the thing where some people like this and that's fine. But for us, we don't like it super quick. We like a good theme and they get immersed in it for a bit. And then, then when there is a breaking point, of course, you don't want it to go too long, but this was too quick and it felt chintzy.
Yeah. I liked the setup.
It felt cheap.
The monster setup was great compared with Aeon's End, having just played Aeon's End last month. So I definitely appreciated that, but it just was missing that immersiveness. Like, we play Aeon's End, we have a hard time stopping. Like, we will just play and play.
No problem here, though.
Yeah, no problem here. We played 2 games, and I mean, we probably could have played another 1 or 2, but it just wasn't the same.
Now, this might be a decent entry game to someone before Aeon's End.
Yeah, that's the direction I'd go.
At the same time, I worry about it not being quite as engaging.
Yeah.
And somebody being turned off by that. I don't know. I just don't. This game didn't do it for me. It was okay.
Yeah, which made us sad because we love Aeon's End so much. I was looking forward to maybe another series that was, just as fun. But
so excited for it.
I know.
And, so there's a new Kickstarter for Astro Knights. I don't know if you saw that, but I don't think we'll back it because why?
Nope.
Give us more Aeon's End.
Yep. All right, so the next game is In Front of the Elevators, which is a very small game out of Japan.
I love this.
Yeah, this was so good. This was so good.
And it's Take Daddy, but I didn't mind. And we don't normally like that.
No, I know. But I'm finding that there's some games where it's okay.
Yeah, it's a little less direct, at the other player. And it's more just like I'm trying to, I mean, you are kicking the other person out of line and doing things like that.
I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, Grandpa cuts in front of his granddaughter. Like, he's
Rude.
just like, get out of my way. I'm the elder here. It's really kind of funny.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a row of cards and you're trying to You're trying to get your cards to be at the front of the line, in the first group in the front of the line. And, you know, there's rules like I said, the grandfather will always cut in front of the little girl, and the little boy will always cut in front of the little girl. Is that right? They both cut in front of the little girl? That can't be right.
No. The girl cuts in front of the boy cuts in front of mom cuts in front of dad, dad cuts in front of grandma cuts in front of grandpa, and grandpa cuts in front of young granddaughter.
That's right.
Bunch of rudeness.
But it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a really good game.
Very fun.
It was hard to get for a long time. I'm not sure. We had to get it off BGG Marketplace because it wasn't available domestically.
A little pricey. It was an import, so... But it's fun. I really liked it. So next up is probably my favorite of the month, and that is Lacrimosa.
Hell yes!
Lacrimosa was very, very good. Very beige in a good, appropriate way. Yeah. And very good.
I would agree. I loved Lacrimosa. As we go through this, I keep remembering all the games we played. I think this is my favorite of the month too.
Look, I love a heavy Euro, and this is a perfect heavy Euro, and it's got some cool mechanics going on. The way the different cards share the same track, and they do different things for you, but you know, and so you're constantly balancing based on how that track is moving, which cards are available, which you want to get, because
and what you can pay for them.
Oh, it's neat. I like it a lot, and it has it's very thematic. It's got the whole different sections of the
orchestra.
Of the piece.
Oh yeah.
Of the piece, right? And then and you play instrument pieces of the different parts to score them. I liked it a lot. It felt very engrossing, immersive, and you know, like a good immersive Euro.
Yeah, it did. I loved this game as well. I don't even know if I can define why I loved it so much, but it, again, a lot of different things going on. Can't ignore anything, which is something that I think is really important in a game. Good chunky Euro, very thematic. Yeah, it was terrific.
All right, next up we have Star Wars: The Clone Wars Pandemic System Star Wars game.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. It was... What were people complaining about? They said it was too easy? Yeah. We played it on the lowest level. It was easier than Pandemic, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it was sort of designed to be more of an intro to people who aren't familiar with the Pandemic system.
Like I said, we played 30 games, and we played them average, so we played this twice, so we didn't play enough to experiment. But people on BGG were saying that if you played a certain way, you could win like every time. And we didn't have enough to test that out, really. But I thought it was fine. I mean, I enjoyed the theme, and I
like
think
the theme a lot.
There is a way to ramp up the difficulty, so I think we would just ramp up the difficulty, and I gotta think that would offset it, even though some people disagreed and thought it didn't offset the difficulty. I don't know. Maybe people are playing it wrong. I don't know.
I liked going to Tatooine and Mandalore and all of those other planets. I mean, that just was really fun. And like
I've lost track of all the movies, but
I know. But the theme is still, like, we both grew up in the original Star Wars era, so this is this theme that hits like real close to home.
Absolutely.
And is you know, imbued or embedded in our psyche. So I just really did enjoy that. And we like Pandemic. We like the cooperative games.
So yeah, the next one on the list is Surrealist Dinner Party. First of all, it came with this nice little dinner plate. This like metal dinner plate. I just love it.
The art is fantastic too.
The art is lovely.
Yes, you've got like actual surrealists that are taking part in your dinner party.
This is one, and there's another game coming up we're going to talk about where I just think they would fit in a good themed game night with Obsession and like a, I don't know, dinner party game night kind of thing.
Yeah, it would. It would be very... I think it would be fun, too, with a few more people. It plays at 2, but I think it goes up to...
4 or 6?
6, I think.
Does it go 6?
I could be wrong, but I think it goes up to 6.
Okay.
And this one we only played once. This was the very end of the month, so we kind of snuck it in over the finish line. But I agree. This would be a great one as part of a theme night.
Yeah, I think it's got real potential. So next up, another game we only played once, but this time because we didn't really want to play it again. Now part of it is it's really designed for more than 2 players, and it's more of an intro level game. It's called Compounded, and it's a chemistry game, and it's all right. It's good.
Yeah,
It's a good game.
I think we'll donate this one to like a science or to a library or something like that. This would be good.
But it's not a bad game.
No.
I just don't see much value added for us.
Yeah.
In particularly.
Agree.
Which is disappointing because I've had it this was one of the longest ones on the shelf of shame.
Yeah, it's 2013?
It's been on there since then.
Yeah.
So, I finally got on the table and that was all right.
Yeah.
Now, we do have the methamphetamine promo card.
Which we're keeping. Among other things, if we're going to donate to a library, I'm not putting in the meth card.
Yeah, they might frown on that.
Yeah.
So,
but I think it is good for kind of teaching some very, very basics about chemistry and, compound structures, what chemical compound structures look like and how you make them. It's not very complex, but I think it would be a great way to sort of introduce to kids the sort of first, understanding of chemistry.
Yeah, I agree. So the next one is Spook Manor. This is in the... Oh, what's the name of the game? It's in the same universe.
Oh, Monsters on Board.
Monsters on Board. And it's a little card drafting game with tile placement.
I liked it.
I liked it too. It was decent.
Yeah.
It was not great. It was not terrible. It was good. It's enjoyable. Probably more of a 6 or 7 or 6.5 than anything else, but...
Good spooky season, good welcoming game. If you don't like super complex games, but you kind of like that spooky theme, this would be a great game for you.
Not super thematic. It's not like
Well,
I don't think it doesn't feel. What I'm trying to say is it's not like Dead Man's Cabal where it's immersively thematic.
Absolutely.
The
art is
so it's okay. I mean, I felt like theme wise, setting was stronger than theme with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's all.
Yeah.
That's all. So after that, what do we got?
Fjords.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Fjords is fun.
I don't remember Fjords at all.
You do remember Fjords.
I do. Oh, I do. Area control. Tile placement.
Tile placement, exactly.
Yeah. This is good.
It's a bit abstract, really.
It is.
But it was fun. It was a little bit weird and tight and super tight.
It was, yes.
A lot tighter than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
And there were a couple times where we had like a special tile that we just couldn't do. We couldn't use it because it was so tight. You had to be really careful. That was the thing about this, is you had to be really, really careful about how you place your tiles, or you're going to like paint yourself into a corner. And
block yourself from being able to play other tiles. It was really strange that way.
Yeah. Like you could literally, nobody could place a tile. Like it was just down to like, there was one spot maybe where you could put something if you weren't careful, which is maybe a flaw in the game. I'm not sure. I think if you played a little more, you'd kind of get used to that and know that it's a bad idea to put, those two together, because you're creating a hole that's impossible to fill. But we love tile placement. So, what a good tile placement game is hard to beat.
Yeah, it's good. So I mean, in general, I'd say a thumbs up to Fjords. We played it 3 times, and it's got the new version has these different runes that add variety to the gameplay.
And that was what I was thinking of as the special.
Oh yeah,
like the rune that we can place. I just couldn't remember that they were runes.
Yep. So next up we had Escape from the Asylum,
which we played 5 times.
And that's because there's 2 parts to it, and each part you're supposed to play like 5 times, and it's kind of like an escape room game with cards, and it's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's an ongoing story, told from different perspectives, each part of it, and it's a bunch of puzzles. It's very mathy.
Well, the puzzles there were a lot of number puzzles, but they weren't all number puzzles. And they weren't all great. Some of them were a little bit like, that puzzle wasn't so good. That's okay. Like, that happens in these kind of games. And so it's not as good as some of the best games are in this genre, but it was fun.
One thing I didn't like about this is the scoring system. Because the scoring system, if you guessed incorrectly, you would gain a minute, right? And you wanted it to finish in the shortest time possible. And that's not how you solve puzzles. You solve puzzles by testing theories and seeing what works and doesn't work. And I did not like being punished for trying to solve the puzzle in a orderly, organized manner.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Every time you went for a card that wasn't there, you would get a strike against you.
Yeah. And there's no. It's one thing if there's like an obvious path forward, but there weren't. There was no reason why you would know which of the possible ways to solve that puzzle was the correct one in a lot of cases.
And you were supposed to do it in 60 minutes or less, and we never did.
Oh my, not even close.
So it was kind of like, are we this bad? Are we just bad at this? Are we?
I don't
Be
think
honest.
so. We're pretty smart.
Tell me the truth.
We're pretty smart.
I thought.
I think we're pretty
thought
smart.
we were.
I don't understand.
I don't know.
I mean, like, our best time was like 87 minutes, I think.
I don't know. It was terrible. We were just terrible. So the scoring system made me feel bad.
Yeah.
About myself.
I know. I didn't like it. But the story's good. And I'm actually really excited about doing the next half of it.
Yeah. And all I'll say is that there's 5 parts to each part, but everything links together in a way. And that's it. And no spoilers. But so it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's like overlapping, interesting. So that's interesting. That's it. The next game we played, I also really enjoyed this, and we didn't get very far with it, and because we were doing our challenge, and we played it 3 times, and it has mental blocks.
And we're really looking forward to playing this with some friends. Yes. I know, it's going to be great. Because there's different puzzles, and we didn't want to go too far down the... Look at the pigeon, or the morning dove. There's a morning dove in the window.
We're talking to the people out here.
Sorry.
Hi.
Big bird. There's a bird in the window. It's a big one.
Big bird is in the window.
Anyway, what was I saying? Mental blocks. Oh yeah, series of puzzles. We didn't want to get too far. We want to play it with some friends, but it's super cool. You're trying to build this shape, and every person at the table has a different perspective on it. And so you're trying to get it to look correct from your perspective. And so, who knows what it looks like on the other side. There's different ways that you can build it based on, the blocks that you have. And it could be perfect from your side, but Jane's side, completely wrong.
So it is really, really interesting. And we didn't get too far, so it wasn't super challenging because we were pretty early in the challenges. There's like 30 challenges or something, and they get harder, progressively harder.
Well, the first one took us a while because we were learning the game, but once this next couple were kind of quick, and but it was fun. It was fun solving the puzzles. So it was kind of neat. And I definitely recommend Mental Blocks. So. Yeah, and our next one was also sort of a dexterity game, and that's Tokyo Highway, where you're building like popsicle sticks.
We didn't do the thing if you drop your car. There's a rule that if you drop cars, you get punished. We didn't do that.
No, because there's no way I'm going through a whole game without dropping something. It's just not happening.
So
you shouldn't be punished for having ADHD and being dropsy. It's right.
So anyway, this game's really fun. It's like popsicle sticks, kind of, that you're putting across and over and under, and cars on the tracks. Whenever you go over somebody's track or under somebody's track, you get to put a car down, which is like a point, and you're trying to be the first one to get rid of all your cars.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Really fun. Like you said, dexterity game, super cool visuals.
And
you end up with this 3D...
take a photo every time kind of game, so...
Yeah, sort of like...
Those always kind of work.
Manara in that way. Yeah. The next game is Hatsuden.
I like this one.
I don't remember it.
It's a little abstract game. It's based on alternative energy, and you got like wind and solar and different, and hydro, I think, and stuff. But you're trying to supply your city with energy. The theme's pretty abstract, really. You're trying to just majority control vertically on each power type, and then also hit a total value horizontally of 10. So you're trying to get like 7 or 8 vertically, or better than the opponent anyway, and then 10 horizontally with these 4x2 or 5x2 grid. And it's harder than it sounds.
Yeah,
but it's fun and strategic.
It's a nice 2-player game that really has a lot more variables than you would think when you first looked at it. So that was a good one.
Next one up is Mosaic, A Story of Civilization. I forgot about this one. This was very good.
This was very good. Yes.
So this is a civilization game. The only negative is the setup takes forever.
I'm trying to remember this. I know I loved it.
You had to put a token down all over the board, and then you had to take certain tokens off the board.
Yes. Yes. This is
and
really
then you
good.
had to shuffle all these decks, and then shuffle in this card.
And you're trying to get majority in each area, and this was a lot of fun.
So it's a big area control, which not our favorite mechanism, but you're
not really battling. You can battle each other,
but
but
we kind of a little bit.
Never do.
Yeah, a little bit though.
Yeah, we never really bother battling too much.
No,
it's more just what your presence in an area.
But you're
is.
you're strategically trying to battle over control of the territories.
Right, and you're building wonders.
You don't battle against each other, which is good.
Yeah, and producing resources. Oh, I really liked this game.
Yeah, this was a very good game. So I think Lacrimosa holds up as my number one for the month, but this was definitely top 3, I think. Ark Nova's up there too, though.
I like Wild Serengeti too.
Wild Serengeti's up there. Canopy.
Top 5, maybe. Yeah. Oros.
Oros is very good. Well, anyway, we didn't rank them. So, all right, next up on our list is Marrying Mr. Darcy. And this is... how do you describe this card game?
It's like Obsession, the card game, 5 years earlier, or 8 years earlier.
Yeah.
Basically, you're trying to
you're courting.
You're courting. Yeah, you're trying to marry a suitable bachelor.
Absolutely.
You're trying to make sure that you have enough inheritance and wit and beauty and
try
charm.
not to get jealous about who she's hooking up with.
That's hard though.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
But there's not much of a decision space, is kind of how I talked about it in another video. It's like you draw a card, and it basically tells you what to do. And you get a choice, but it's not much of a choice. And then you're done.
Yeah.
And then you do it again. 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 So it's kind of a lot of that.
Yeah, but we love a theme. And so I just think this goes so well with like Obsession. Maybe you could
Surrealist
have
dinner party,
some tea and some crumpets and some Pim's cups or something like that. I just can see this being part of a really fun thematic weekend.
Yeah, this would be a fun thematic game for a thematic game night. I agree with that. It's just not a great game, but it's fun.
Yep.
And that can happen where a game's not that good, but it's fun.
Yep.
So that was Marrying Mr. Darcy.
Next up, we have another mystery game that we played, Suspects.
This one was really good.
This one was really good. I think I like these kind of puzzles a little bit more, where it's not just about solving a puzzle and then solving another puzzle. It's more like gathering evidence and deducing what's going on.
We like our crimes.
And we do like our crimes.
Murder! It's very fun.
Yes.
We like murder.
We do.
Not in real life. Not in real life. Not in real life.
We like solving murders. Yeah, and so it's, the box had 3 cases in it that we had, and I think there might be a couple other versions, but we played all 3.
I think that's just the one. Yeah.
Anyway, we played through. So we played 3 times, did all of the cases. We did great on one, and I think we did not so good on the other 2.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, I know we solved the first one. We were like, yeah, go us. And then the next 2 we did. I don't think we solved. Or we came close, but we couldn't quite.
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it was fun.
Yeah, this one actually has a better scoring mechanism. And what it asks you to do is, like, at a certain point, you write down who you think did it, how they did it, and what their motive was.
Yeah.
And then you do that a couple more times, and you score on how early you figured it out. So you're not losing points for making a wrong guess. You're just getting points if you figure it out early.
Yeah, but we struggled on a couple of them. We really did.
Yeah.
So maybe it felt like there wasn't definitive answers in some cases. So it was kind of like conjecture.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do when you're dealing with card game, a game with cards and stuff where it's all abstract, defined. So anyway, but it was a good game. Overall, I'd say a good game. Next up, we had another similar game, similar vein. Hunt a Killer, Nancy Drew Mystery at Magnolia. We were so excited for this one.
We were so excited for this one. Love our Nancy Drew.
I think we solved it.
We did solve it.
So it was fun.
Yeah, really enjoyed this. It was a one-off.
Yeah, so we played it once.
But I hope that there'll be more. I hope there's actually more Nancy Drew themed mysteries like this coming out. Because I love
That'd be good. Hunt a Killer does other games, but I don't know. I think this was their only Nancy Drew one as of the time.
For now. Demand more. Yes. And then finally, the last game of the month. Game number 30. Lisbon Tram.
Yeah, so this was a fun, light game. It's got a little Ticket to Ride flavor where you're drawing tram cards, trying to get the right colors for movement. So you needed cards of the same color for movement, for picking up passengers, and then for unlocking special powers.
Yeah, and so, you know, I think you can draw 3 cards a turn or something like that.
Yeah.
And so you're just trying to get your, you know, your 600 yellows or get 3 green instead of 600 yellows. But I mean, it's that Ticket to Ride mechanism. It was fun. I like this.
It's not as good as Ticket to Ride.
No.
But I like games where you're moving around on the road. And
yeah, I do too.
so I kind of enjoyed that aspect of it.
It's pick up and deliver, actually.
Pick up and deliver, yeah.
You're picking up meeples from around the board, and then you're taking them. So, like, there's these different monuments and in Lisbon, and they want to go, like, the whatever monument is looking for, you know, 3 red, 2 green, and a yellow or something. I don't know.
And now I want to go to Lisbon, even though I can't, and travel and be a tourist.
I know.
So, but I can't.
This would match well with Lisboa, too.
It would.
So you could have a whole Portuguese
theme night,
yeah.
So, now that we did play a couple other new games to us. We played Natureopolis from...
That's right.
From Button Shy. We just didn't... It wasn't part of our challenge.
It's sort of part of our year-long Button Shy challenge.
I can't remember what else we played that was new, but we played actually 33.
There were Button Shies. I think they were their Button Shies.
Okay, is that what it was? No, one was Chateau, which was a print and play roll and write. And so we did play a couple other games. Natureopolis, of course, was great. It's a Sprawlopolis standalone expansion. Chateau was a fun, light little roll and write. Not spectacular, but fun. I like that you can do different castles. And I don't remember what else we played.
Me neither.
But they weren't part of the challenge. Just thought I'd mention them.
Yeah, so that was our April. Have you played any of these games? And which ones do you like? Let us know in the comments below.
And we're trying to do the same kind of challenge again in May. We're behind. She was traveling for work, so...
And I have to travel again next week, so...
So we may not be able to keep up with the pace. But we kind of came up with a method last month when we fell behind for other reasons. And so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. All right.
But remember, every day that you game
is a holiday.
Bye.
Bye.